Hi, I am J-Dog. I'm out here with Mr. Dave. Let's say hello to a few of our new fans. Hello to Cynthia Christie, and to Jessica Stefano Farrell, and to Diane Dawes Foster out in Sherwood, Oregon, and to Clint Albin. Hi, Clint, over in Washington, D.C., way far away. And to Valeria Thomason. Valeria, I like the quote on your page. You go, girl. It says, I'm a leader, a fighter, and a survivor. And my best accomplishments in this life, call me Mom. So keep up the good work. So anyway, guys, welcome to the show, and I hope it brings something worthwhile. So let's talk about basil, shall we? Because basil is one of the best, I want to say, our most favorite herb around. And we've counted, how many did we count? 11 different varieties of basil. Let's make some sense of 11 different varieties. Now, how do we make sense of this? And by the way, basil shopping should be one of your favorite things. If you like basil, by the way, because you just pluck a leaf and give it a good taste and see what that tastes like to you. But I'll just tell you word for word what it's like out here in the real world. Now, sweet basil is the basil that you'll find around most common. That's what it's called. Best way I can describe the basil flavor is that if you're not too crazy about basil flavor, you just want just a tiny little pinch of basil flavoring. Think of it like a big salad with just a touch of basil is what sweet basil tastes like. So it's a great one. Not too strong, not too strong. So very, very simple. Now, ramping up the scale of things is the Genovese basil. If you really want a stronger, straight out basil flavor, Genovese basil is a good one too. Larger leaf on that guy maybe gives us more flavor. And remember, when you cook with basil, it's kind of one of the last things you do, so you don't overcook it. Now, ramping up that just straight basil flavor, top of the scale, I call it, is the Cuban basil. Different leaf altogether, smaller leaf. And by the way, on the basils, what you want to do is pluck that bloom so that you get more leafing on that. So anytime you see a bloom, pluck it. So that keep the leaves coming. And okay, so on the very strong basil flavor, think of the Cuban basil. Now, along those lines, after that, it's basil with a kick, a basil with a different flavor that you can think of. And don't forget to taste test the darker leafed basil. This is the African blue basil, which is a really strong basil flavor. And what would you call this flavor after this, Mr. Dave?
I think it's going to have a licorice undertone to it.
Yeah, definitely. Yowza! That one just pops on your tongue. And you can feel that, you know, when you suck in, you can feel it in your mouth. It bursts with flavor. So that's the African blue basil. Same deal on the dark opal basil. Maybe not. I think that the African blue has the biggest kick of all the basils. This dark opal is the same flavoring, just a little bit mild. I want to say mild flavor. Now, wow, that one has a kick. Another one that's a fun one that I like is the lettuce leaf basil. Now, you can see on these guys, here, let me pull one of these out. The lettuce leaf basil is true to its name. It has big, bold, lettucey type leaves on here. Best way I can describe how this one tastes like is that if you ever tasted a Dutch mint, not Dutch mint, I'm sorry, a Dutch licorice, the drop, it tastes exactly like that. So try that. Run over to Holland, grab one of their licorices, pop it in your mouth, and then try one of these guys, and you get that same flavoring on that. So anyway, kind of a Dutch licorice taste to it. So it's kind of a unique flavor all on its own. So that's the lettuce leaf basil. After that, it's basils with a particular type of flavor on there. So, for instance, the lime basil. Lime basil, the best I can tell you, is how that one tastes like. Well, if you're to drink a limeade, try to taste the limeade, and that's what you get, basil with a very strong flavoring of lime. thus called lime basil. Same deal on the opposite end is the lemon basil. And I can't really say that it tastes like a citrusy lemon. It tastes more like a lemon pledge. You know how you used to dust the furniture? Those big commercials where you just dust and then swipe that lemon pledge. That's what you smell that, and that's what that tastes like. So best way I can describe it. Of course, it might taste different to you. So that's the lime basil. That's the lemon basil. Another type of basil to keep an eye out for is the Pesto perpetuo. This one has that variegated leaf on there. It's a great cooking one. How I best describe the flavoring on this is that it's basil with a little bit of spearmint. Same with this guy right here. It is the basil boxwood. Has that strong basil flavor with that hint of spearmint in there. And what else do we have here? Oh, I haven't gone with the Thai basil. Thai basil, I cannot remember how this one tastes like. Oh, very, very licoricey. Oh, straight licorice. Matter of fact, it's very strong licorice. And not just a hint of basil flavor. So if you like licorice, try that Thai basil. Anyway, that's the show for the day. I hope you got something out of it. If you didn't, here is your quote for the day. Excuse me. Humor is just another defense against the universe. Thank you very much, Mel Brooks. That's the show for the day. Always live your passion.
You see me right out of the sunset on the color TV screen. I'm